Hey guys, how are you? Grant right here. I'm back here today for another video. Today is an ultra exciting time on this channel because I'm going to be doing a reaction to a very special performance, and I'm going to explain why. Today's reaction request comes from Seven here on YouTube, who requested that I react to Lara Fabian's medley performance of A Piece of Sky and Papa Can You Hear Me by the incomparable Barbra Streisand. Now, little bit about Barbra Streisand. I was first introduced to her by my mother. My mother was the biggest fan of Barbra Streisand in the world, I'm telling you. She would play her all the time when she was cleaning. Just absolutely adored Barbra Streisand, and for good reason. Barbra Streisand is the living legend. And that medley from, if you don't know, that medley of songs is from the movie Yentl, which was an amazing movie as well. I just cannot say enough good about Barbra Streisand. She is like the one and only. I have never heard, I've heard maybe one other person attempt to sing this in my entire life, and I think it was on American Idol or something, and it didn't turn out too great. So you really got to be top notch to perform a Barbra Streisand song. It's just, there are so many different variables that go into her singing that make her, top of the top alongside Whitney and a few others. So I'm kind of nervous. Lara Fabian, unbelievable vocalist. I hope she pulls through the way I know she can in this performance, so I'm very anxious and excited to see this today. And without further ado, let's get into it. Before we begin today's video, as always, if you're new here, welcome to this community. I'm glad to have you here. If you would please be so kind, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up at the end, and be sure to check my social handles in the drop down box below. Let's get into this.
Illuminate the night where your spirit illuminates my soul. Papa, can you hear me? Can you see me? Papa, can you find me in the night? Papa, are you near me? Papa, can you see me? Papa, can you help me not be frightened? Looking at the skies, I seem to see a million eyes. Which ones are you? Yesterday has waved goodbye and closed its doors. The night is so much darker, the wind is so much colder. The world I see is so much bigger now that I'm alone. Papa, please forgive me. Try to understand me. Papa, don't you know I had no choice? Can you hear me praying? Anything I'm saying? Even though the night is filled with voices, I remember everything you taught me, every book I've ever read. They are the books and all the words help me to face what lies ahead. The trees are so much darker. Papa, how I love you. Papa, how I need you. Papa, how I miss you. Kissing me good It all began the day I found that from my window I could only see a piece of sky. I stepped outside and looked around. I never dreamed it was so wide or even half as high. The time had come. Papa, can you hear me? Try my wings. Can you understand me? And even though I knew at any moment I could fall, I felt the most. Papa, can you see me? Amazing things. Can you understand me? Things you can't imagine if you've never flown at all. Though it's safer to stay on the ground. Sometimes we're dangerous. They're the sweetest of pleasures are found. No matter where I go, there'll be memories that tuck at my sleeve. But they were all so big, more to question, yet more to believe. So tell me, where is that someone who will turn to look at me and to want to share my every sweet imagined possibility? The more I live, yes, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I realize. The less I know, each step I take. Papa, I'm a voice now. Each page I turn. Papa, I'm a choice now. It's my life travel only means the more I have to go. What's wrong with wanting more? If you can have love and soul, wherever there is, why settle for just a piece of sky? Papa, I can see you. Papa, I can feel you. Papa, I can hear you. Papa, watch me.
Wow. Whoa, wow. Oh. Oh my god, that was too much. Huge round of applause. I'm just crying. Huge round of applause. Huge. One of the biggest round of applause I've ever given. That was just, that completely just blew the roof off my head. That was a historic performance, and I haven't said that too often on this channel, but that was an absolutely historical performance right there. Now that we got all the freaking tears and all the bullshit out of the way, I want to start out once by saying Barbra Streisand is one of those singers that's absolutely untouchable. And for someone to even attempt this medley over here, it really, really, really takes guts. You really, really have to be confident in your craft to attempt this, because just the stamina that this medley requires is, I don't think, is matched by probably any other singer, maybe outside of Whitney. But you really, really, really have to have stamina, and you really have to have proper breath support amongst other things to really pull this off, because it just takes so much from a singer, and you really, like I said, you have to be really, really top notch, and the training really has to be there for you to be able to pull this off, which is kind of ironic because what made Barbra Streisand so special is she never received any training. Probably one of the absolute greatest singers of all time in every single aspect, and she was able to do so without training. That's what made her such a gifted vocalist. To Lara, though, this was a historic performance, as I said before, for so many reasons. What I want to say is Lara pulled this performance off, and pulled it off so graciously, respecting the original format of the song, but she still brought those original elements of her own into the mix. She still brought the drama, which Barbra Streisand obviously did, but Lara has her own unique way of, as I said, with her breaths and her facial expressions that she does in all of her performances. She brought that into the mix of this one, while not completely straying from Barbra Streisand's original composition. The vocals were absolutely mind-blowing in this performance. She pulled off all of the notes. She hit every single one of those benchmark notes that Barbra Streisand brought into the song. While, as I said, she brought her own sound into it. She didn't, stray from her sound. She didn't try to be Barbra Streisand. She paid respect to her. And that's a very, very, very big thing I want to touch on here. A lot of times, and I'm not going to name the names, there's tons of I don't need to name the names. There are a lot of singers out there who make it a career, and I'm not trying to knock anybody, I just don't. A lot of people make a career out of mimicking other artists. There's a lot of, what do you call them? Tribute acts out there who I hear all the time just mimicking the artist. They do a full-on impersonation of the artist, and I don't think that's doing justice to an artist. I don't think it's anything special, at least not to me. When I hear a cover, I want to hear somebody paying respect to the artist, but in their own voice. I don't want to hear someone trying to be that artist. And Lara Fabian, she pulled this off magnificently. She paid her respect to Barbra Streisand without trying to be Barbra Streisand. She hit all of the notes she needed to, but she hit them in her, with her voice, with her technique, with her sound. She didn't try to go overboard trying to emulate Barbra Streisand. And hats off to her for doing so, because I appreciate that. This medley here, as I said before, requires just so many different technical, and it just requires so much from a singer. You really, really have to know your stuff, and you really have to be in good vocal condition to pull this off, and she really, really did a great job at it. Her high notes at the end, I was very, very nervous. I know Lara Fabian can pull it off, but that last extended note at the end really, really takes a lot to produce in the way that Barbra Streisand did, and Lara Fabian, she nailed it. She absolutely nailed it. I was waiting for that vibrato at the end, and she did just enough. She didn't go overboard at the end, and that was just absolutely stellar, 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 stellar. It just gave me goosebumps. It's such a powerful performance in the first place. Barbra Streisand's rendition of the whole thing was just so powerful. The composition itself is just such a powerful composition. It just, you can't help but, get emotional while, listening, especially at the end. And it just brought back so many memories of my mother, as I said before, because Barbra Streisand was probably my mother's favorite singer. And this When I was growing up singing, she always told me to watch this and to listen to this to really just understand the technicality that Barbra Streisand brought to the table, and she really wanted me to learn some things from it, and I did take away a lot from it. So I want to say a big thank you once again to Seven for requesting that I react to this. It really, like I said, it put me in a good place, brought back some really nice memories, and I'm thankful for that. Thank you once again, guys, for joining me for this reaction video. Please give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet done so, leave a comment, and let's get the discussion going. If you're new here and you wish to support this channel, you can do so by finding me on Patreon. You can subscribe to my Patreon for a low monthly premium and have all-inclusive access on exclusive content from me you won't find anywhere else. By doing so, you will be helping to keep this channel moving forward. And you guys know the deal. If you want me to react to something, leave those requests in the comments down below and I will add them to the lineup. Love you all, stay blessed, stay safe, and keep the positivity going because we need all we can get in this world. See you guys on the next video. Peace.